All right, we're going to start Unit 2 today. We're going to start it just a teeny little bit, and then you guys are going to do some more remediation and retesting on Unit 1. All right, so this unit is basically talking about proportional relationships, but before we can do that, we need to learn what ratios are first. Okay, and they're very simple. So today, your goal is to be able to explain what a ratio is and to write ratios in 3 different ways. So let's get started. All right, you have your notes. I want you to go ahead. I want you to follow along and copy your notes down. If I'm going too fast, all you have to do is stop the video and continue as you go. So the first thing is, what is a ratio? Well, a ratio is nothing more than a comparison of two values or two quantities. It'll make sense more as we go along, okay? So if you're given quantity A, let's say teachers, and quantity B, let's say students, the ratio would be A to B, or teachers to students. So when it's just me in the classroom, it's one teacher to 6 students, or one teacher to 7 students. Sometimes when a lot of people are absent, it could be one teacher to one student. And it can be written in 3 different ways. One is like this, with the 2 dots. That's a colon, A to B, and it's read A to B, and it would be, or it would be teachers to students, A to B in words, or A to B, just like a fraction. So a ratio is nothing more than a fraction. All right, so just like fractions, ratios have to be written in simplest form. So you have to reduce them to lowest terms. All right, so just a review on simplifying fractions. Remember, you need to find the greatest common denominator, or sorry, the greatest common factor, the number that will divide into both your numerator and your denominator. So here you have 16 and 30. Well, we know they're both even numbers, so we know that 2 will divide into them. What else will divide into 16? So we're going to look at the numerator, the smaller number. We're going to look at that one. All right. The only other thing that will divide into 16 is 4. Will 4 divide not? Will 4 divide into 30? No. 8 will divide into 16. Will 8 divide into 30? No. 16 will divide into 16. Will 16 divide into 30? No. So the only option is 2. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. And when we do that, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 30 divided by 2 is 15, and we know that this is reduced to simplest form, okay? Because there is no other number that will divide into 8 and 15 other than 1. All right, so now we're going to move on doing examples of ratios. So here, we're going to write the ratios in simplest form, and then we're going to write it in 2 other ways, because the first way is going to be a fraction. So if we have 9 board games to 3 video games, 9 to 3, we have to reduce that to simplest form. 3 will divide into both 9 and 3. So when we divide 9 divided by 3 and 3 divided by 3, we get 3 over 1, or 3 ones, or 3 to 1. So when we reduce 9 board games to 3 video games, it's the same thing as saying 3 board games to 1. So 3 to 1, 3 to 1. Now here's another one, 18 soccer players to 30 football players. Notice 18 is first, 30 is second. Therefore, 18 has to go on the top and 30 goes on the bottom. 18 to 30. So now we have to reduce it. So we know that both 2 will divide into both 18 and 30 because they're both even. We can do that, but then we will have to reduce it even more. And we can just keep doing 2's. But let's look at 18. what do we know that will divide into 18? We know 18 will divide into 18, but it won't divide into 30 because 18 times nothing equals 30. So 9 will divide into 18 because 9 times 2 is 18. But 9 won't divide into 30, so we can't use 9. 6 will divide into 18. Will 6 divide into 30? Yes, it will. So we're going to divide both by 6. So when we do 18 divided by 6, we get 3. And 30 divided by 6 is 5. And so now we're reducing our 15 soccer players to 30 football players from 3 to 5, 3 to 5, and 3 to 5. Now remember, the numbers have to stay in that order. All right, so now we have 40 horses to 60 cows. Why don't you go ahead and try it yourself? Pause the video, try it yourself, and then come on back. All right, welcome back. Let's see if you got it right. So we have 40 horses to 60 cows. So we're going to reduce it to simplest form. And first we have 40 to 6. 40 horses is first, 60 cows, 6 cows is second. So now we have to reduce it. So let's look at the smaller number. Will 6 divide into 40? It does 6 times something equal 40? Not that I know of. All right, another one would be 3. Will 3 divide into 40? No, I don't think so. But I definitely know that 2 will. So 40 divided by 2 is 20, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So in simplest form, if we have 40 horses to 6 cows, it's the same thing as saying 20 to 3, or 20 to 3, or 20 to 3. Got it? All right, go ahead and do number 4, and then come on back. All right, so in this case, if there were 5 teachers and 90 students, here's the ratio, 5 teachers to 90 students, but can we reduce that? Yes, we can, because 5 will definitely divide into 90, because 5 will divide into any number that ends in a 0 or a 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 5 divided by 90 is 15. So that means that there's 1 teacher to every 18 students. 1 to 18, 1 to 18, 1 to 18. Go ahead and finish off numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go ahead and stop the video and complete that. And then come on back when you're done. All right, you're back. I hope you paused it and tried this on your own, because that's the best way to learn how to do it. All right, so let's check it. 49 swimmers to 21 runners. Then we have to reduce that to lowest terms, the simplest form. Let's see, were you able to do it? When you look at the number 20, when I see the number 21, I'm thinking, well, I know that 7 will go into 21, but hey, 7 will divide into 49 too, because I know that 7 times 7 is 49. So let's see if that reduced it to lowest terms. So 49 divided by 7, hey, I was right. 49 divided by 7 is 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So there were 7 to 3, 7 swimmers to 3 runners. 7 to 3, 7 to 3. All right, so now we got a party. There are 75 cupcakes every 15 cookies. 75 to 15. We're going to reduce this. Now, in my head, I know that 5 will divide into both. But I guess there was a bigger number that would divide into both. So hopefully, once you were done simplifying, you ended up with 5 to 1. So you could put 5 cupcakes to 1 cookie. All right. Now, if you're listening and you're paying attention, I'd like you to clap your hands 2 times. That way I know that who's paying attention and who's following along. All right, so 5 to 2, 5 cupcakes, 1 cookie, 5 to 1, and 5 to 1. All right, so in my big box of colored pencils, crayons, or whatever, I don't really have any crayons in there, but let's just say for every 36 crayons, I have 80 colored pencils. So we would write that as 36 to 80. And then we would reduce it in simplest form. It would be reduced to 9/20ths, or 9 to 20, 9 to 20, and 9 to 20. All right, this one's a little easier. The numbers are a little smaller. So now we have, you hear my husband sneezing in the background? He's pretty loud when he does that. All right, and we have 16 folders to 40 notebooks. 16 to 40, and we reduce that to simplest form. We get 2 to 5, 2 to 5, 2 to 5. So now that you have this part of your notes already complete, all right, you do have the back of your notes, which has some word problems on them. So what I would like for you to do, here they are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and then come on back to a new one. But I want you to go through and I want you to try to complete these on your own. Mrs. Jacobs, well, we'll do the first one together, okay? Mrs. Jacobs has 5 math classes. Okay, so let's do some highlighting here. Let's look at these numbers. So she has 5 math classes. Whoops, not she. Sorry, my bad. He. He teaches a total of 36 girls and 42 boys. Express each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Now notice, it is asking what's the ratio of boys to girls. So it would not be 36 to 42. Since boys is written first, then we have to go with the number of boys first. So it would be 42 to 36, and then we need to reduce it to simplest form. So let's see, I look at the number 36 and I'm like, okay, 6. I know 6 will divide into 36 because I know 6 times 6 is 36. And I know that 6 will divide into 42 because I know that 6 times 7 is 42. So I'm going to divide both by 6. And 42 divided by 6 is 7. And 36 divided by 6 is 6. Now, yes, it is an improper fraction, but that's fine because we're not really thinking about these as fractions. We're thinking about these as ratios. So the ratio of boys to girls is there's 7 boys to 6 girls, which is almost equal. Okay. All right, so now we have girls to the total number of students. So how do we get the total number of students? Well, to find a total, we have to add. So here we have girls, we have 36, right? 2. So now we have to add 36 plus 42. So we can do that right here. Okay, 6 plus 2 is 8, and that's 78. So 36 to 78. All right, so I'm not exactly sure what numbers divide into 78. So I do know that they're both even, so I can divide both by 2. Whoopsie, I wrote that wrong. All right, I'm going to divide both by 2. So 30, oh, and you can use your calculator. I forgot about that. Pull out your calculators. All right, I found my calculator. So I am going to do 36 divided by, where's my divided by? Oh, there it is, divided by 2, and your calculator is going to look different, which is 18. So I'm going to go ahead and write 18, and then 78. Whoopsie. Then 70. Oh my goodness. Then 78 divided by 2 is 39. Can I reduce that? 10, 11, 12. Yes, I can reduce that because I know my divisibility rules. So I do know that 3 will divide into them. You know how I know that? Because if I were to take the 2 digits from the 1 and the 8 and add those together and get 9, I know that 3 will divide into 9, so therefore 3 will divide into 18. I don't know if you guys have ever learned the divisibility rules, but when you add the 2 digits together here, 3 plus 9, you get 12. And I don't know why it does that, but it just does. So 3 plus 9 is 12. Well, 3 will divide into 12, so I know that 3 will divide into both of these. So let me go ahead and write my equal sign. So now I'm going to divide both by 3. So 18, and since we have a calculator, let's use it. We don't have to do all that math. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Let me go ahead and write that. And 39 divided by 3 is 13. And I know that's as far as we can go because 13 is a prime number. And prime numbers, do you guys know what a prime number is? If you know what a prime number is, I want you to come tell me what it is. If not, come ask me what it is. All right? All right, so go ahead, stop the video, and I want you to go ahead and work with a partner. Find a partner and sit down and work these together. Okay? I mean, I can read the problems to you. I definitely want you to work these on your own. Let's see, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 problems to do. Okay? So go ahead and do that. Show them to me when you're done, and we'll see how you did. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be bebopping around the classroom. Okay, I'm out. Peace. Bye.